her into the studio like any second. So
Brings a whole different set of
yeah, you got
challenges,
it.
doesn't it?
Yeah, you really have to yeah, you really have to navigate that piece. But
Yeah.
so that's one name. Also, we are another young lady who I had the privilege of mentoring in Chicago. She's from the Chicago gospel scene, but she's doing R&B, and
Mm-hmm.
and her name is Latajay, and Latajay is an understudy of Ann Nasbet. And Ann Nasbet, for those who are in the gospel, really is a name that's really well known in the gospel from this choir from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis called the Sounds of Blackness.
Okay.
So yeah, so platinum selling artist, and Latasha was her understudy. But she, even before she was her understudy, she was working with us at the first label, which was Storm International. Was actually the first label from
Okay.
20 years ago.
Nice. So there was already kind of rapport there.
Yeah, yeah, she's a powerhouse. I mean, when you turn on and you see American Idol and you see the singers who sing on there, I mean, she can do that. Plus, she can do Fantasia. She can do Jennifer Hudson. She's in that range, that realm. So, and we completed her first few sides. So we're looking at releasing that in about 3 weeks, and we've been working on those for about 2 years. Hey, Gemini. She's a Gemini, everybody.
Hey guys.
So yeah, so we're also working with. This was a surprise for you. A gentleman from Europe. He is one of the hottest DJs in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, his name is XI.
XI.
Yeah, Xavier Infinity.
Ooh, I like
XI.
that.
Yeah, Xavier Infinity.
I
And
like
he
that.
is our first DJ that we signed to the label, and he's definitely in that Euro, south of France, Paris, flying, Dominican Republic, going to France, going back to Germany. I mean, he's all in those areas. So yeah, I have to get you, really get you up on him. But yeah, I'm excited about that project because
That's
it's
cool.
going to take us into a whole another realm.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing I want to say. If you're interested in the industry, I mean, yeah, a lot of people want to get into the industry, but you know, discipline, study, research, anybody
Hmm.
can make a record. Not everybody can make a good record.
Right.
Anybody can be in the music business, but everybody doesn't understand the business of music. So it takes developing relationships, refining yourself, learning how to navigate, learning who's, what's what. You know,
Hmm.
you don't have to try to find creative ways to send your stuff to an A&R person. Hey, you can do your thing if you want, but you just how to learn how to do it. We
Right.
are looking for artists. We're looking for artists. And if you are interested in coming aboard, send us a demo to Soul America Records, and you can Google us, you can look us up, and I mean, we are getting ready to really make some major waves.
I've always
Back.
said not a ripple, baby. I'm a
Hey,
tsunami.
hey, hey,
So,
hey, hey.
yep, there you go. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Um, so very, very exciting times.
it
Um,
is. It is.
s- what, what is the like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan?
So the 1 year plan is has been 3 to 5 years in the making. We announced the opening of the label in 2017, and we've been building. We spent over hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment, resources, and tools, and
Mm-hmm.
putting teams together. And that was going on from 2017 to 22.
Mm-hmm.
The international distribution, making sure that that was intact. Trying our product out, rehearsing it, putting together the creative teams, the writing teams, the studio teams. So these are the things that we've been doing over the course of the 5 year period. So where we go from here is once we release the records, then we also bring in our first video director, and we're looking at least 2 to 3 more video directors.
Okay.
We have a facility in Chicago, which we office out of, called 35th Street Studios, where I used to have my first office out of.
Okay.
We have the indie office here, and then we're also working out of Quad Studios in New
New
York.
York. Right.
So, it's like the golden triangle in order to get things done. Some folks said, well, you need to go to Atlanta, or you need to go to LA. Well, I said, well, no, I probably don't need to go to Atlanta or go to LA. I mean, I ran from Chicago.
Haven't you been in LA? Like,
Yeah, I
didn't you
was.
already do
Oh
that
my
scene?
God, I was doing that scene. I was down in Hollywood, and man, I was fronting.
Well, that's
I was
like you
broke.
said. Like you said, it's a hustle. I
Hey,
mean,
I
smoke
was
and
broke.
mirrors.
Let me say
right?
this. I was broke as Jones. I had a Nissan. What did I have? Let me tell you this story. You want to hear the story? This is quick. I had, I think I had like a Nissan Sentra or something. I can't, a Pulsar. I had a Nissan Pulsar.
Pulsar.
And like I would pull up to the Palladium in Hollywood, and I probably had like, if I had like $50 in my pocket, it was a good night.
Okay,
Anyway,
got you.
but I was at the Palladium. The Palladium was my choice spot, and I mean, I was at the Palladium and hanging out with Johnny Depp and Keith Sweat and Wesley Snipes and people. And I mean, they actually started seeing me because I was there so much. But I was broke as Jones. I ain't gonna even lie. It looked good. Aesthetically, it looked correct, like I was on
Right.
something, but. I was actually working I was a studio rat, and I was just really trying to like really meet and connect with whoever I could in LA. And again, for the same reason why I left LA, same reason why I came back to Chicago, same reason why I came to Indy, because you have to always have a strategy
Yes.
when you're doing things. And it's a lot of people who are home, who are in the streets, who are in those streets in LA and Miami and all that. Those are artists.
Yeah.
Those are actresses, those are singers, those are songwriters, and they
Yep.
go out there and they make it and they have broken dreams. So you really don't want to be in that position. You have to have a strategy.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know you definitely have a strategy. And God, I would love to know what the full plan is
Yeah.
eventually. Because you just drop stuff in my lap and you're like, we're going to do this. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, well, the full strategy, you've seen it come into fruition because,
Yes.
that room upstairs, we put over $100,000 in material
Yes.
in probably 2 years. And right now, it doesn't mean anything unless we have a record that's hitting the charts.
Right.
So when those records get released, then it'll test the strength of our multimedia effort. It'll test the strength of everything that we've done up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I mean, it's been a labor of love, but I'm also very practical. I'm practical because I understand this industry is just such a finicky industry, and you really have every day is a strategy.
Yeah.
I have to research the charts. I have to know why, Justin Bieber, why Biebe hit it,
Right.
who was behind him, what was the attraction to him, what's the attraction to Aria Grande, or so on and so forth. So we have to know these things and research these things, and it'll help us in our strategy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Have you had, I'm not even going to say,
Uh-oh.
I'm not even going to use the F word. Have you had your starstruck moment?
I haven't, because honestly, when you are working around and you're seeing a lot of these people and you're seeing a lot of it, you kind of lose the thing that most fans would have and all of that. And I see the industry even even when I was, in Chicago, even when I was a kid, because I was working, I was around those circles so much, it kind of changed for me. And I
Okay.
didn't have that anymore like I did. So I really haven't had the starstruck thing. Maybe if like, I can't even think of, because I mean, a lot of the people who I have touch base with, work with, these are people who have platinum records on the wall or some big producers. And I mean, a lot of folks in the industry, they're a little bit challenged personalities. And, that's the nature of the beast. So you really
Right.
just got to know what you're dealing with.
Right. I've always told people who have asked me, well, what's it like? And I'm like, you know what? It can be the best thing in the world, getting to enjoy the music and
Yeah.
be around artists
Yeah.
and see how the other side lives. But at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, you get to see who the real assholes
Yeah, well,
are.
you said it. I didn't.
I said it.
But
Yes.
I'm gonna concur. You know, you really have a lot of challenged people in the industry. I mean, even from the standpoint of and I'm gonna keep it real, just because because it's that. Even from the standpoint of Rob, we saw Rob, and I'm not taking anything away from Robert Kelly,
Yes.
but I mean, I said, look, Robert is gonna get into trouble eventually.
Yeah.
When you see like 12, little 12-year-olds and whatnot coming through the doors and all that, like in 90 going north. But,
Dude, we was okay in the 90s with him marrying a 15-year-old.
Well, hey, I wasn't okay.
I'm
with
not
it,
saying
though.
I was okay with it either, but he was on the charts. And as long as he was on the charts
Well,
making hits, I think people look the other way on some
Well,
shit.
I mean, again, it's the industry is what it is, and I never want to dismiss that type of behavior.
Right.
And I don't condone it. It's not anything that I've been a part of. I stepped away from that because of those types of things.
Yes.
I always wanted to keep away from that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was sincere about wanting to make it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get caught up in no nonsense.
Right.
When I would see those type of things, the drugs, this, the that, nah, you can skip me with that.
Right.
I mean,
Yep, just pass me right on by.
hey, that, and I can't afford it anyway. So I'm,
Same problem, shit.
man, hey, just give me a Coke and I'll be all right.
There you go. So, ideally, is it to make a name for yourself even more so than you already have, or is it to leave something for when you're gone?
No. Well, the legacy is very important. So the Soul America piece, this next phase of where we're at, we are uplifting folks like Mr. Davis, who mentored me. We're uplifting over 30 years of industry work because, I mean, at this point, I've gone too far to turn back around. We're uplifting probably $250,000 in investment that I've invested just to try to be in this industry and try to make it happen since day one.
Right.
I mean, I just can't, I don't want to turn and leave that because all of the effort and the time. And I mean, that's a huge portion of my life that I lost. I can't get that back.
Right, yeah.
I can't get those years that I was beating the streets. I can't get those 3 o'clock in the mornings, trying to, do a recording studio session or down in LA, playing like I was a player,
Right.
You just can't get those moments back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do, in sincerity, I do know the next phase of this because of the struggle, because of the pain, because of the things that we put into it, because of that time investment, because of the partnerships that we have now. What we're doing is successful, and it's succeeding, and it's winning, and it's gonna win. So,
yep.
And you are the first interview for Soul America, and I do want to talk about the Blaze too, by the way.
Okay. All right, so I will let you lead with that one then.
Okay. So Soul America is a conglomerate of labels. We have Soul America, which is the parent label. It's called SAIR Entertainment, and that is music, it's movies. We are doing documentary films, but we plan to move into feature films, actual films within the. You asked about a 5 to 7 year perspective. Well, probably better part of 5 years.
Okay.
So we got to get this music piece down, and then we are planning to move into actual films, independent films.
Hey, Wyatt, we're going to need a break on the rent. I'm just saying.
Wyatt's got us.
We're adding offices left and right, man. You hear this over here?
Actually, yeah, I'm hoping that within that time frame that we'll have an actual building because, we got the New York office and then we got, Chicago. So, we'll actually be looking for a building. But I mean, I definitely feel comfortable in, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So the Blaze. So, people see me and they say, okay, well,
God, you're good.
his name is Amir Shakur.
I tried to divert you. Damn.
Nah, don't divert me. I've been at this too long. I'll teach you some things. All right. So people see me as Amir Shakur and they say, hey, who is this guy? Is this Tupac's brother or something?
Right.
But so no, I'm not. I am somebody who knows the industry back and forth like the back of my hand. I mean, you even know because I've
Yeah.
consulted some of the biggest rock bands out there, some of the names
Yes.
you already know,
Yes.
and helped them build.
Yes. Yes.
And we don't name drop, we don't name drop, but I mean,
It's just-
if I could name drop, you guys would be like, "Are you serious?"
I know.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so here's where we're at. So the Blaze is so people think it's just an R&B, hip hop, and urban contemporary piece, but we are doing country rap, and that's what the Blaze is. Country rap. We're looking for pop. We're looking for pop acts, and I'm actually even looking for a 5-year time frame. We're actually looking at a UK office, but we got to get New York together. But I
Okay.
want to sign a punk rock band, and either from here, from US,
Okay.
or from the UK. I want
Okay.
a punk rock band, and I told you that.
Yes. Yes, you
know,
did.
And I like the punk. I like the punk scene.
Right.
And punk has a lot of dedicated followers,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
they stick with punk music.
absolutely
and
do.
And there's not a lot of like movement with punk. Well, maybe there is, and maybe I just haven't been following it. So I have to get my punk research back. But we know about the legacy acts,
Right.
acts like the Dead Kennedys, and more the mainstream acts like Billy Idol and folks like that. That's more the pop side of the punk music, and that's so that's kind of what I want to do. I kind of want a punk, pop, hip hop type thing, and that's kind of like what the real, kind of like modern day contemporary version of the Chili Peppers, because
Right.
that's kind of what they are, right?
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So I would love to do something like that, and I'm hoping that we can sign. So if you go on my Facebook, and I think I might have mentioned it to you, but I mean, I've probably gotten over like 800 to 900 submissions from artists around the globe, and I mean, people from the UK, people from we even got people from the Middle East,
Right.
so on and so forth. So yeah, so we are an urban contemporary label that focuses on everything urban, and that's what we're doing right now, and that's where we're at. So
Okay. Definitely a lot coming together at one time, for sure.
yeah,
The remember a couple times we've had to have the conversation, well, if they want it bad enough, they'll make it happen.
yeah,
So the guitarless guitar player now has a guitar and cable and is sending me some of his stuff.
all right. So
Tonight he's supposed to be sending me some of his stuff.
so let's capitalize here. Let's
Yes.
capitalize on a moment. So what we're doing is we are setting up auditions around the country, starting with Indy once a month. Then we'll be doing Chicago. Then I hope to be doing maybe New York or Florida. I'm not sure where we can get the biggest impact, but that would be pronounced and announced. Pronounced. That will be announced within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
We have to get these. We have to get these labels, and we have to get these labels and these new acts released within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we will be testing this because we really want to see what's out there in the market. Yes.
Absolutely. And with it saying contemporary and jazz and hip hop, but you want a punk rock band. So you're so eclectic.
I mean, but you've heard my record production, and
I
you know
have,
I can do
absolutely.
everything. And
I don't doubt that.
And we have a reggae act too from Indy. We have a reggae act, so I mean, I want to do more of that. I just don't want to do like just all of the, I want to stretch it out a little bit, and
Okay.
I've never done punk, but I can definitely do it.
Right.
and it's gonna happen.
Oh,
You
I
mark,
know.
you watch my words. It's
Oh
gonna
no, I
happen.
know it's gonna happen. You've already
Trying
said
to tell
what
you.
you wanted.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
absolutely.
So we took some of the label execs. This is the piece. We took some of the label execs. Alex Majaya, who was with Virgin back in the day, and he signed Janet Jackson. He signed
9 o'clock.
he signed some really big acts. He was the head of the urban division for Virgin.
Hmm.
So he was always a DJ. He is a DJ now. So we're bringing him and reactivating him. Some of the conversations that we're in, who you've been in, Demetrius, who somebody who came from out of the R. Kelly camp.
Yeah.
Who is working with, he was R. Kelly's manager. So, he's working with us or working with us in order to build the whole management and touring aspect of it. I mean, we have some great execs and who have a wealth of experience. Our A&R, Don Adams is from Chicago. You've met him. We've worked, he's been doing the gospel circuit. He is a minister, but he's been doing gospel. We are. I just feel real good about the space that we're in, and we're seeing connections to some of the better reps and the better A&R people. I mean, some of the people from A&R and excuse me, some of the A&R people from Atlantic Records and other labels who are paying attention. Right now, we don't need that, but I
Right.
mean, maybe eventually, if the right engagement, the right connection, the right door opens up, then maybe we can do a custom label. But right now, it's all about Soul America
Okay.
and the Blaze.
And the
So
Blaze.
and the Blaze and Montgomery Blue, which is the jazz offset of it. Millennium 3000 is the DJ label, which Xavier will be on.
Right.
Xavier Infinity will be on. So I mean, again, it's I'm really happy, and it's a hip time for us to be us, right?
Yeah, definitely. Would you say that professionally speaking, that this is the furthest and most put together?
Well, it is the culmination of over 20 years worth of work. And, it's just me saying, hey, you know what? I can't allow circumstance or I can't allow myself to get burnt out. I can't allow, I have to build and we have to build good teams with good people, the right resources. And we just can't, a business is like anything else. It's what you make of it. The music industry, the record business is like anything else. It's you have to groom it. You have to put into it. You have to develop it. You have to have a strategy. So there's going to be wins. There's going to be pitfalls. There's going to be a lot of money lost, and everybody's not going to make it. But we just have to keep pushing.
Yep.
And that's why we've gotten that far because we didn't allow any of the devices from the past
Right.
to stop us.
Right. Right. Well, we're getting the cue. Is
That's
there
the cue.
anything? Is there anything that we have not touched on that I should have covered?
No, but if you want to be a part of, if you're an artist and you got something to say and you want to make it and you are interested, Soul America Records, Soul America International Records. Google that. Get a hold of us. Get us a demo. Get us a bio package if you got it, and let's rock the world.
Absolutely. If you don't want to go directly to him because you're one of my people, send it to me. I'll send it to him. We'll get you linked up, get you an audition, and it doesn't matter where you are.
Tour starts next spring. You want to be on that, so hey, make it happen. Get us the stuff. Hi,
Richie.
hi, Richie.
So yeah, absolutely. It's definitely come. It's come in full circle, even just in the 3 years that I've been involved in it, to watch how it has flourished and blossomed into what it is now. It's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
is.
Yeah. It's been an adventure.
We'll say it, an adventure. I like that word. That's a good word.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, do you have any last shout outs or Anything else that you want to mention?
Hey, nah, I'm just saying, look, let's let if you're serious, get yourself. If you want to make it in an industry and you represent yourself, do whatever you can in order to make it. But make sure your aesthetic is together, your bio's together. Make sure your music's together. Really invest in you and research the industry, and that's what I would say. You know, be serious about the craft.
Yes, absolutely, and pay it the respect that it deserves.
Yes, indeed.
So, absolutely. I want to thank you so much for coming on again. There was a lot that we had to talk about in a very short amount of
I
time.
know.
Definitely did not feel like an hour. Um,
I
so,
know.
yeah, what has been, and I'll wrap with this,
Hmm.
what has been your most embarrassing moment in the music industry?
How dare you ask me something like that?
It's kind of a stock question.
Okay, so real quick, so there was a young lady who was a legendary singer, and I was trying to get her signed to one of the labels. This was a while back. I ain't gonna even say her name or anything, but and I had like about $50 like in my pocket, and
Mm.
we went to lunch, and she started ordering like calamari and all kind of stuff, and I mean that bill went from like $10 to $50. I'm like, okay, I know she can't eat more than $50, and I'ma just drink water. That thing was like $200, and
Oh
I'm
my
like, I
God.
said, you know what, me and you gonna have to split this bill because if you expecting me to pay it, I can't.
Oh,
So, so embarrassed.
damn
I'm
it.
like, so, okay,
I
because
could
I
I
ain't gonna
didn't
be
see
washing no
that.
dishes.
I did not see that one coming. Okay.
Hey, I'm real with it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
anyway, the way that ended up happening, she actually called one of her people, and she was like, "Can you come and pay this bill?" I was like, "Oh, all right." I'm glad he did. I was really embarrassed, but it was a humbling experience for me.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. Okay, so until next time, because there's going to be a next time.
Look at you.
Um, until next time, uh, we will definitely still be behind the scenes, but everybody should start watching my socials more so now because I did go extinct on quite a few of them to focus solely on one. I have built that up very quickly,
Right, right.
and I want to be able to continue to kind of pay it forward and build on top of the layers that are already there. And need an intern. He
That's
keeps
who said that. That's
he
some
keeps
wise. That's
telling
some
me
wisdom right there.
he
I
keeps
tell you,
telling me I need
golly.
to get an intern. I now I need to
You
get
need
two
an intern.
interns.
Yeah, you need about three interns to be honest with you, because you'll go through.
I know, but it's love and passion. So, um, yeah. Until next time, let's keep playing the behind the scenes, and as we finish them up, I'll roll them out, and we'll shoot them out there, and hopefully make it on the charts
The
within this time
blaze
next
for the
year.
2022. Hey, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. Get with us, y'all.
All
Wow.
right, guys. So if you want to get a podcast done or you want somebody to come shoot your wedding, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Wave One Media is your
Wave
place to
one.
go. Wyatt here is
He's the guru.
amazing.
He's the
Yes,
guru of
he
the
is. Yep.
multimedia world right here in Indy.
He's
He is
got
the man.
so many spots filled already. So if you're wanting to get your podcast in, be sure
If
you
you
get a
want to
hold of.
show,
Yep, if you want to show, you better get a hold of Wave One Media.
Wyatt.
Also, another shout out to Joseph Kemp, my co-host. I hope you start feeling better. Want to see you back next week. Um, he he has JK Multimedia Productions. They do shirts, they do flyers, they do digital graphics, websites, all of the above.
Joe.
Joe,
Joe.
um, networking, consulting. I'm not doing the managing anymore. Just I can't dedicate that much time to somebody. I'm
She needs an
sorry.
intern.
Yeah. Um, so if you guys want to
Be an
have
intern.
connections, be an intern. Yeah, absolutely. Want connections? I'm a good bridge. I can help you pretty much find somebody that you're looking for. I need an intern. Um, and
What are you, the fighter of lost loves? I can help you.
I like walks on the beach and
Oh Lord.
moonlight and yeah, right.
Listen to Yanni in the
And
background or something. Okay,
so
whatever.
if you guys want to reach out to me, you can reach me on all of my social media platforms, Miranda Monday or Monday Love Podcast. Find me there. Hit me up. Matter of fact, why don't you just go to my entire first season of the show and you have my phone number? Other people are doing it, not the smart ones, but So be sure to be watching and on the lookout for what's coming out within the next couple few weeks, definitely within the next couple few months, and watch for the announcements to happen. Jump over to YouTube, subscribe, rate, review, leave us a comment. Monday Love Podcast. Would love to see you, hear what you have to say. Give us some suggestions, artists, musicians that I can bring on the show and interview, or potentially they can audition. Let's make it happen. You all have hated a Monday once or twice in your day, so let Monday love you. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye bye.